I am so, so excited to watch this trailer, and I just cannot believe that not only are we getting a new Hunger Games movie in general, but the trailer or the first teaser look is already out, considering the movie is just about like a little less than a year away from coming out. I think they actually are finishing up production or like just wrapped filming or something like that. So the fact that we are already getting like an actual teaser trailer for it, I never ever would have imagined. The day before the trailer was released, I actually saw chatter online about perhaps a teaser trailer coming out, since that would be the 1 year mark from the movie coming out. I kind of thought it would be true because it was a pretty reputable source, but I also didn't want to get my hopes up because, again, it feels like it's still so fresh into production and everything like that, that I didn't quite believe that we would be able to see that. But I feel like the whole Hunger Games thing in general is kind of unbelievable. Like, after Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and how much I love that movie, I really thought, like, yes, there were possibilities for new Hunger Games stuff if Suzanne Collins wanted to do it, but from the moment the new book was announced to be about Haymitch's games, it almost felt like it was just a fever dream. Like, I didn't believe it to be true because I think it's just so devastating, but also so timely and important a story that I'm just so, so excited to dive back into that world, even if it's going to break our heart 5 ways to Monday, because it's going to be really, really rough to watch. I think so far the casting, which has been the biggest thing we've seen, has been 10 out of 10 stellar for me. I feel like so many of them that are playing versions of older characters that we saw in the Hunger Games, the actors that they cast look so much like the younger versions of them that it's actually astounding. Like, I was just consistently so amazed by every single new actor that they announced that was being in this movie, not only because of how well they looked and how well I felt like they fit in, but also there's a lot of actors that I am super interested to see, and I feel like a lot of them are kind of like on the upcoming list of things, which I feel like makes it exciting because it reminds you of when it was like the first Hunger Games movie and no one knew a lot of the actors and everything, you know, that were playing like the younger characters, and now to see like where like Jennifer Lawrence has gone, Jack Quaid, Josh Hutcherson, like it's really amazing to see like how far they've come from being back then, and it just makes me excited for what this generation starring in this will be. But that's enough yapping. Let's get into the trailer. I'm so excited. And yeah, I can't believe it's real. I cannot believe it's real and that they're already showing us a look at it. I love the promotion for the Hunger Games. I feel like Lionsgate is doing such a good job with it and getting people excited, and if they play this right, this could be a huge hit. So yeah, let's watch it. How did I forget Glenn Close was in this movie? The pomp and circumstance of this is amazing too, of like it's an impractical outfit, and like you're starting to see like compared to Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when everything was still relatively like it wasn't super glamorous and all this stuff, like you're seeing the even bigger disconnect between the capital and the district people. Oh, and she's giving military with like the badges and everything, so that's interesting. Ooh, that transition scene, I liked that. Ugh, 24. Oh, it's giving Midsommar. Oh my gosh, the outfit. That is a child, come on. I feel like one thing they maybe did better in this one so far with like the casting for the tributes is I feel like they actually look like kids. Like they were young in Hunger Games for sure, but they were still like all played by, I would say, like 20-year-olds. I feel like in this, like you're seeing, they look young. Like, you know, Haymitch and all them look like the oldest, but like they've cast some that look like 12, 13, like, and I feel like that really, they've never done that before outside of Rue, I feel like, of showing you like how young they really are and they can be. Ugh. Oh, the frame rate changes so. Oh, it's just awful that it's like flowers and so pretty too, and it's like this death and destruction. That was a cool frame aspect. Don't go for the cornucopia, Haymitch, you know this. Ugh, I'm not excited for him as Snow. I know that's a hot take, but I don't really like it. He looks amazing. Lenore and the ducks. Oh, Effie, I'm so excited for her. Maisie and Effie, I'm super excited for. Oh my gosh. having it as the older voice, oh my gosh, chills. Wow. Wow, wow. November 20th. Ah, it's just wild. I still can't like get over it. I feel like that trailer was so good. Like it gave you everything you needed. I feel like it gave you a look at the different tributes, which was interesting. And I feel like, again, I said this, but this one with the cast and stuff feels the most like accurate to what the books are, and just like making it so they literally look like children. Like even Haymitch, I don't know how old his actor is exactly, but he looks like a 16-year-old kid, and like none of them should be in this life or death situation. And I also really like the setting of the arena with like the flowers and making it so pretty. It's definitely a callback for me to the clock in Catching Fire, when that arena was like the TikTok clock, because all the flowers were arranged in like a different segment resembling a clock. But I also think like the flowers and like it just being this beautiful meadow and everything contrasts with the idea that this is going to be a place of death, and like they're killing each other and all that in really violent and awful ways, in a way that they're forced to play this game. And I just am so excited to see it. I think the cast is just stellar. Like I feel like they give us such good glimpses of mostly all of them so far. And like Effie, I'm super excited for. I think Elle Fanning is going to do a fabulous job as her. I think Jesse Plemons as Plutar is like, he looks so much like him. It's wild, and I'm really excited to see his part in it. And then just all the scenes of like how much trauma and trouble that Haymitch is going to go through. Like I saw a tweet that was like, please give all of like the bad things that happen to Haymitch, triple them and give them to Snow, because he just goes through so much loss and heartache in this. And it's just, it shows you how he ends up where he ends up when Katniss and Peeta meet him, and the idea of him being this protector of kids and looking out for all the people, and then having to years and years train these kids and meet these kids that essentially go and die in the arena is just so heartbreaking. And like this is where it all starts. This is the moment that he becomes the Haymitch kind of that we know in it. And I loved how they ended it with that line of like, the games are going to be different, because I think this game shows you the biggest kind of window outside of Katniss's point of view to Catching Fire, and how high the stakes really were for that. Because obviously we know, but Katniss doesn't know for a majority of it, that there's this planned alliance, this planned rebellion that's happening. And I think knowing the people that were involved in this and their parts and how it didn't work out, I think it adds a whole extra level of just heaviness to everything happening in Catching Fire. And I think it'll be interesting to see like even Effie, you know, like Effie's kind of whole changes. She's not malicious, but she doesn't really understand outside of like what she's been sold by the Capitol, that this is horrific. And it's not till she sees Katniss and Peeta have to go in again after they've already won that she starts to see like through the like veil of it, and like how this is truly depraved and completely unfair. And that's when she starts to like change and better herself. So it'll be interesting to see like the Effie we see in this and the role she plays in that and everything. And I think Elle Fanning is going to do a really good job. I feel like I haven't talked about Joseph Zeta as much as Haymitch, but it's going to break my heart. That's why like even like the little parts with him and Lenora, I was like already like sobbing because I just feel like knowing what's gonna happen and knowing what he goes through and who he ends up, like, yeah, I can't talk about it or else I start like literally tearing up. He's a really good Haymitch. Like I think he embodies that aspect of it for me, and I think it's a really hard aspect to play, kind of like what Tom Blythe had with Snow in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because it's not only are you playing this character that we know him at a future point in his life, but you're playing it as someone who is before that. So you have to play it as someone that is kind of unrecognizable, but also at the same time understandable of how the choices they make at the end of the day lead them to where we know them. And I feel like Tom did a really good job of that, of showing that even when he was given these options, President Snow kind of always went for the self-serving one and like just looked out for himself. So you could see that underlying aspect of even when there were chances of you're like, oh, I want to root for you, I like you and Lucy Gray together, he just ruined that, and it shows you that that kind of is underneath it all. So I feel like it's a very tricky role to have to portray, and pull off, because you've got this heaviness of knowing what the future of your character is while also being like he hasn't gone through that yet. And I just think he's going to do a really good job. Like even seeing him in the arena when it first started, like looking out for the kids and like reassuring them and like being like, it's okay, like we got this. Him and Maisley together, like it's going to be heartbreaking. Like it's all just going to be so heartbreaking, but it just looks so well done. It looks so accurate to the books, and I think the idea that the book represents in trying to show you what it's showing you before Katniss, before the rebellion and everything like that, I think it just does an absolutely phenomenal job. And I'm gonna sob, I know it, and I have to make peace with it. I feel like I've already made peace with it because it's just so heartbreaking, and seeing it played out like that and seeing it with, you know, Ben Wang, like I love him, I love McKenna Grace, like it's all these characters and these actors that I really like, and it's just gonna be absolutely heartbreaking knowing the outcome of it, not only in this movie, but 25 years time in the Hunger Games and all that. So yeah, if you have seen the trailer, let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments. Also make sure to this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!